Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of William & Mary Television's Flat Hat Insider.
I'm Tanner Russo.
And I'm Mary Kate Weinbrenner.
Here are this week's top stories.
Last spring, Gianna Castellano's class of 2016 began work to establish a chapter of Smart Women Securities at William & Mary. Now with the status of prospective chapter, the executive founders of the group are hosting events for the student body and preparing for a 10-week seminar series in September. Smart Women Securities is a national nonprofit organization that educates college-age women about investments and finance. Founded at Harvard University, Smart Women Securities now has chapters at 15 universities. Castellanos has been working with 5 other students since October 2014 to launch their chapter at the college. After a thorough application process, the group found out they became a prospective chapter in January. Through guest speakers, seminars, and group projects, the prospective chapter's mission is to empower women by providing them with the financial literacy in an agency that is largely dominated by men. On April 10th, the prospective chapter will host a question and answer panel with professionals, a networking lunch, and subsequent breakout sessions. The founding team will be notified if their group has achieved status as a nationally recognized chapter by April 30th.
On March 18th, Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe's Task Force on Combating Sexual Violence released new draft recommendations for college campuses. Vice President for Student Affairs Ginger Ambler, chair of William & Mary's Task Force on Preventing Sexual Assault and Harassment, believes that William & Mary is on track to implement the governor's recommendations soon. One of the key points of the recommendations is that online portals need to be improved to facilitate the reporting process and increase awareness of sexual assault resources among the student body. Ambler wants information about sexual assault resources to be easily accessible regardless of which web page a student is on. Access to resources was a priority for the task force's most recent mass email, which alerted the college of an off-campus rape and included links to resources. The college's task force will present preliminary findings based on a survey released to students and a draft of recommendations at its May meeting, with the goal of publishing official recommendations by June.
The Student Assembly Senate unanimously passed the We Are William & Mary Week Act during its meeting on Tuesday. The bill changed the name of I Am William & Mary Week to We Are William & Mary Week. Sponsor Senator Nadia Alunga explained the change as an attempt to encourage engagement between members of the student body, not just individual attendance of sponsored events where little interaction between students occurs. Taylor Mack, class of 2015, spoke during the bill's allotment for public comment. Mack is co-organizing the Black Lives Matter conference, which is set to take place in tandem with the We Are William & Mary Week. The conference plans to host 3 speakers, Broderick Greer, Crystal Lewis, and Ethelbert Miller. Mack asked for between $2,500 and $2,750 to fund all of the speakers. Secretary for Diversity Initiatives Hannah Cohn also spoke during public comment to explain the week's activities. The Culture Night will include at least 7 student cultural clubs offering dishes to represent their culture. The bill also includes funding for tablecloths for the table talks and a ball pit, which will recreate the popular Soul Pancake video, Take a Seat, Make a Friend, and encourage students to have conversations with each other. Well, that's all the time we have for this week's episode of the Flat Hat Insider.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for all the latest news.
Before you go, here's some stuff happening on campus this week.
On April 6th at 3 p.m. in Miller Hall, William & Mary will convene an alumni panel called Free Speech Under Fire, focusing on threats against freedom of speech. Renfest will be held this year on April 9th from 8 to 10 p.m. in the Wren Courtyard. Hosted by Hope and the Acapella Council, the event supports the William & Mary Counseling Center. On April 9th from 8 to 11 p.m., there will be an AMP homebrew in Lodge 1 celebrating Jesse McCartney's birthday. We'll see you back here next week.